Hello and welcome to the Jenkins tutorials. Today I'm going to take you through installing Jenkins securely within your continuous integration / continuous delivery environment. I'm going to be using my GitHub repository for some of the commands or to download some files to save any typing and typos, as we're all about the automation. So if you go to github.com/Smerton, I'll put a link in the description and the video. And then click on Jenkins and just leave it there. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to install a prereq of Jenkins, which is Java. It requires, so let's just update apt first of all. So the apt update. So it requires so at the moment it works well with Java 8 or Java 11. So we're gonna go ahead and use a well-known implementation of Java, which is called OpenJDK. So sudo apt install OpenJDK 11, because we're using Java 11, Java runtime environment. For those that are conscious of how much space it takes up, it's 760 megabytes. So I'm just going to hit yes, enter, and that's going to go ahead and install. So while that's installing, it shouldn't take too long. We'll jump back to the repo and I'll just explain. So Jenkins has its own repository. It doesn't use the Ubuntu ones. So we're going to have to install a key. Basically, it's kind of like it's a public key, public-private key combination. It kind of verifies the packages, and that's how apt works. It needs a key. So we'll copy the key first of all to add it. So if we jump back, should now have been installed. Just clear that. I'll paste that in. That downloaded and installed the key. If you want to list what keys you have, sudo apt key list, is it? So as you can see, it says we have Jenkins there, very top one. So, and then if we jump back here, what we need to do is update the source list. So if you just copy this again, the command's gonna update the source list. So just paste that in. And then if you wanna confirm what it's done, it's pretty much just here. Actually, no. Source list directory. You can just do an ls and we can see the files there now. If you want to view what's in it, it's just text editor, Jenkins list, and basically echoed the path into the directory. So if I come out of this, so there's the path, the URL, it echoed it into the file. So we are good on that part. Next up is, so we now need to update or pull the information from apt to update the repos with the new list. So again, I'll just clear this. So sudo apt update. And it's now getting the new, because before it was just Ubuntu, now we've got the new repos in. It's basically pulling that information and all the packages available. And then this is the easier part. It's just sudo apt install Jenkins. 72 megabytes. Yes. So that hopefully shouldn't take too long. The other one was 700 megabytes. So that's just going, almost done. So if we just clear that, so that's now installed. So we can check the status, sudo system of Jenkins now. So it's a service. I'm not meant to type service, I'm meant to type Jenkins. So we can see that it started. It started by itself. It's running active. So you don't need to start it, but if you did need to start it, it would just basically be start Jenkins. And then you could check the status. But it's perfectly fine. So, and let's just clear that. Clear this. So next what we want to do is we want to enable the firewall. It's good practice for security, because at the moment if I do the firewall status, it's inactive. So first of all, what we need to do is add some rules in there. So we want to be able to SSH to the server right now. So allow SSH. So it's added for IPv4 and 6. And then the standard port for Jenkins, which is 8080. So we want to do that. And then we just want to enable it, because it was inactive. If you do enable, disrupting SSH connections, proceed. Yes. Because I've SSH'd into it. So, okay. Still good. I'm still good. And then status. So now it's active. So SSH is still good. Port 88 is still good. So we are all good there. We have a firewall. We've got some security there. So now, what we can do is, so if you find out what your IP address is of your server, unless you're doing it directly from the same machine. So I need to go to this address here. So I'll just do that into 8080, port 8080, and I should get Jenkins. So we're now on Jenkins, so we know that's working. At the moment, it's unencrypted, so it's clear text, so we want to secure that. So if we jump back to, if we jump back here, just clear this. And then we will basically, we need to install a web server. So sudo apt. I'm going to use Nginx as it's my preferred one. I believe there's you can use Apache and other ones. So Nginx. So I'm just going to install that. So there's a lot of installing to do. Should be very quick and light with this. Shouldn't take too long. And then just clear the screen. And then I'm going to just do sudo. So I'm going to add the firewall rules for Nginx. So it's sudo. So basically it will add HTTP and HTTPS. So what I'm going to do is sudo firewall allow, and then actually sudo apps, I think you can do app list. So hold on, clear that. List. So you have a combination of just HTTPS, HTTP, or 4. We're going to go with 4 because for the time being, you can set it to just HTTPS. I'm going to go with 4. So it will be allow, then it's Nginx 4. And that's added a rule. So if you want to do status, just to confirm. So now we have full service. So that's basically allowing HTTP and HTTPS. So we're good. And then we can confirm. So sudo, actually I don't need to do sudo system, ctl status, Nginx, just to make sure the service is running. So now we know that's installed and running. So next, we want to confirm that we can get to Nginx. So without port 8080 this time around, we can just paste in that. And now for traffic to port 80, unencrypted it again, we're now on Nginx. So we now have Jenkins running, we have a web server running, and we need to tie the two, merge the two together. So first of all, to secure it now, so when I say merge, we want to secure it. So we're going to want to create a self-signed certificate, because I'm just using it for internal purposes at the moment. So I'm just going to create a self-signed certificate. So if we go back into GitHub, TLS SSL, and then I've got a configuration file. So it kind of overrides when you're creating the configuration, I should say. It basically will download all this information here. So if you go to this, and we'll just select all that, copy this, and it will download this file. If we go back into here, wget, and it will just download the file to our local. So if I remember how to paste, you'll copy that. So we now have the file. What we want to do is we want to edit it. We want to, at the very end, the bottom where it says IP1 at the bottom, we want to add our server IP address in. So in my instance, it's .3 or 13. So if I go back, 13. And we are good. So I'll save that, use whatever editor you want. Next, we want to create the certificate. So if you jump back to GitHub and go back again, back one more. I have a command in here to create it, and it will output the keys, the key and the certificate, which acts as the kind of the certificates like the public key, using our configuration file from the directory we're using right now. So if you copy the command, paste that in, it'll do everything for you. So it's going to say, put in your country ID. I mean, they're my defaults, so I'm happy with most of it. Organization unit, server, I will just put, you can put your name, or server, fully qualified domain name. I'll just put my IP in this instance. So that will override the default that I have, and then you just put in your IP address, your email address. And that's created it. So next we want to create, so that's created certificate. It's written it to this directory here. So let me just clear this. Oh, write a new private key. Why did it do that? Oh, because I copied everything. So let me just clear this. So now what we want to do is create a strong Diffie-Hellman group. So it's used for perfect forward secrecy in the web browser. We want to, what's recommended is a 2048-bit group. So if you go back here, I have the command already in to create it. So it will create it in the required location. So if you copy this command, jump back here, paste that in. Depending on how long your, basically the power of your machine, it could take a while, but that was pretty quick. So it varies. So what I want to do next, that caught me off guard, is make Nginx aware of the SSL certificate location. So that's the cert and the key that we created a moment ago prior to this. So I'll just clear this, and I have the locations in this, or I have the config file. So what I'm going to do is, rather than having to type this, I'm just going to download this. Copy. So we'll go back. So at the moment, this is what we've got here. wget location. If I know how to paste. Self-signed. So now that's copied. ls. So now we have the file. So it's named appropriately. So we just need to move it into the location. So we just want to do a sudo move self-signed into ect Nginx snippets, and it should copy the file name there. So all we would do now is ls ect Nginx snippets. But what am I done? And the file is there, self-signed config. So we are good. Let's clear this. So now what we want to do is we want to configure Nginx with some secure settings for SSL. So at the moment we've created the keys, basically the certificate and the private key, and pointed, kind of made Nginx aware with some snippets. So next, what we want to do is we want to add another snippet. So if we go back and then up another level, and then we need to go into Nginx, and we're going to be downloading the SSL params config. If we go in here, it's basically kind of like a secure kind of hardening of Nginx. So it's using like things like TLS 1.2 and 1.3 as 1, and 1.1 are not recommended. It's also pointing to the Diffie-Hellman group we created in the location there. So I'm going to go back. I have a command already pre-written for it. So we'll just copy this, and it's going to output it into snippets labeled as SSL params config. So I'll just double check I've done that. Go back here, paste that in. I don't know why it's just done that. So I'll do that again. That should download. So to confirm that we have it there now, we can just do an ls ect Nginx snippets, and there we have the file SSL params there. We can also view it. So I copied that, and then I'll just do need to use sudo for this. Sudo vim, and there we have it. So it's talking about TLS and defilement. So we've now downloaded that file. So we are good with that. So next up, I'm not trying to quit, I'm trying to clear this, is almost the final configuration for Jenkins now. So if we go back over to GitHub, and then we're going to be using the Jenkins file. So this is, I call it Jenkins, it's the server configuration. So this is configuring, this is tying everything together. So it's including snippets, self-signed, SSL parameters. So those little bits of configuration we just done, this is the main configuration file that we'll be using. And basically we are going to download this file, make a change to it, because we need to change what we have here, but we're going to use a command to do that. There's one there, and there's one more, I believe. So 1, 2, there should be one more, 3. So we're going to change these, but with one command. So let's go back. No, so with Jenkins, me too. I'll copy this. So what I'm going to do is go back here, and it's just wget. Paste that in. So now we have Jenkins. Let me just clear this. So I'm going to use command line 2 tool called sed. It's basically good for kind of replacing text within a file. So I'm basically saying create a backup file. So whoops, I'm saying with this command, basically once I create the file, but keep a backup with the extension .back. And then I'm saying replace all. So I want to replace, maybe easier doing this. I want to replace this. So I'll copy that. Just delete that. So I want to replace that, your server address, so that there's no typos, with the SS substitute, just came to mind, with my IP address, so it's 192.168.100.13 globally. And the input file is Jenkins. I'm working in the current directory, so that should do it. So you do an ls. Now we have Jenkins and we have Jenkins back. If we open the Jenkins file, now you can see I've got the IP addresses in all the locations. So we're good. So let me come out of that. So now we just need to move the file into its rightful location. So it's sudo move. Let me just clear this. Back up. Sudo move Jenkins into ect Nginx sites available. Nginx. Oh, I didn't do sites. Sites available that's good. And then I can just do an ls sudo. So the file is now there. So next we need to enable the site. So you do that, we're going to do a symbolic link. So sudo ln for link -s, and then we want to link sites available Jenkins, this file, to Nginx sites enabled Jenkins. And we can list what's here. And we now have the link, sites enabled. For a longer expression, so Jenkins is now pointing to, so basically the link is pointing to sites available. So that's kind of made it, it's now made it active, it's enabled it. So we'll clear this. We will check the configuration is now good. So Nginx, I need to do sudo. Test failed. Sites. Duplicate default server. 0088. Jenkins 2. Do I need to remove? So is this saying emergency? A duplicate default server for 00080. Oh. No. Configuration failed, so. Let me see if I delete the default. So what did I just do? Sites enabled. Remove. Sites enabled. Remove. Sites enabled. Default. Sorry, sudo. Test it again. Yes. So I had two default. I suppose it was everything for port 80. So I had to remove the default configuration as well. So now let me just clear this. Whoa. What did I do? We want to list sites enabled. So now it's just got the one. So I had to basically remove that. So we are good on the configuration. So that's good. Just one final thing for Jenkins right now is to make a change to it. This is the configuration for it. So it's sudo vim ect default Jenkins. If you scroll right to the bottom, there's Jenkins arguments, and what we want to do is append at the end. We want to add it to listen locally based on our configuration. So it's http listen capital L address, and it's equal to 127.0.0.1. So it's http listen address, and save that. So now we are good. So what we need to do, because we've amended both Nginx and Jenkins configuration, we need to restart both services. So sudo systemctl restart Nginx and Jenkins. We can check the status of both. Yep, 8 seconds, 5 seconds, they are both good. Back up and working. So configuration checked out fine. Just clear that, clear the screen. So we are good. So now if we go back to our web browser, just grab the IP address again. We should, get that, be able to just back out of this. Just go to our IP address, and now it's giving us authentication secure. Well, basically this is saying, if you click advanced, it's saying we've got a self-signed certificate. You can view your details here. So all the details we put in, so it's good for a year. So I'll close that. Let's go forward, sorry. Advanced. And then I will accept the risk and continue. So now it's, even though it's saying it's not secure, we're securely connected over HTTPS. It's just basically the certificate, because it's self-signed and the way it is, it just needs to be saved in the permissions. But now, so to unlock Jenkins, there's two locations in the log files, or if we go to this location here, we should be able to find it. So if we go back, just clear this. It'd help if I'd used an error, vim. Permission denied because it needs to be sudo, so quit. So sudo password. I can't type, fingers. Grab this password, quit this, go back to your browser, put that in, continue, and now we're we're moving, we're getting somewhere now. So now we'll just install the suggested plugins. Next, you will set up username and password. Once this is done for your admin, you can skip that section if you want, but yeah, you would set that up. So I'll just wait for this to install. To protect display pages from another site is embedded. Open site in new window. Okay, that was weird. What errors like this? Okay, so we'll create a new username. So I'm just gonna call it Jenkins. Very creative. Set my password. Jenkins test. Gender. Okay. If I can type, so that is very weird because now it's how do I continue? Learn more. Okay, we don't want that. Alright, I'll skip and continue as admin for now. It's blocked. Why is it blocked? To protect them. This is very weird.
One eternity later.
Okay, I think I figured out what it is. So in the, let me just clear this. In the parameters file, so it's sudo Nginx snippets SSL parameters. SSL. That's fine. Then SSL parameters config. I believe it's this line here that it's complaining about. So I'm going to disable that. Right, quit that, and I've just reached. So I will test Nginx. T. Oh no. T. That is good. Clear that, and then I'm gonna restart it. CTL restart Nginx, and then go back to the browser, and there we have it. So basically, it wasn't allowing. It's kind of like an iframe is what they were calling it. It's not allowing it to open up with inside. So I'll probably leave that off and disable that. And I'll probably be to say I need to look into that one. So again, so username Jenkins, add a password, probably fat fingered that. Okay. So we're good. Let's save that. Then it's just asking you to confirm what the root URL is going to be. I'm just going to leave it as it is. If you have a domain name that you want to stick in there, you can put that in. You don't have to do it now, but I'm just going to leave it for the purpose of this. And now we're ready to start using Jenkins. So Jenkins is now installed securely. This is the main front page. So what I'm going to do is just very quickly show you how to create your first project. So just call it Jenkins first project, just to show you how it works. We're going to create a freestyle project. Click OK once you've selected project and named it. And then all I'm going to do is to go come down to build, add build step, execute shell. So it's like we're just executing a shell command, a bash command. So all what I want to do is I just want to echo this is the date and time now, date and time now, and then I'm just going to use the command date, and then it's going to create a file if it doesn't exist and append once it does exist, datetime.txt. That's it. So what's going to happen is it's going to output it to the current working directory, which I'm going to show you now, in case you're wondering, wait, where does the file go? So we've set up our first job, save that. We can go back to the dashboard, click run, build. I think that's maybe built twice now. You can press F5 to refresh the screen. So it done it, it succeeded. And if you go to build history, I did do it twice. It actually tells you what it's done. So having hit it twice, it's actually a good kind of example to show you. So this is the work. So the workspace that I'm using is this. So this is where we got to look for the file. So it tells us what it's done. It passed, so green tick, success. It echoed this. It included the time. I think that's for the logs, but it was a success. And there's a time. This is the output that it picked up from that command. So if we head back over to the command line, and we'll actually just go, we'll just vim. If you use quote, paste it in. Did I not copy that? Let me go back. Copy. Go back over. Again, try that again. Need to delete that space. First project. What was the name of the file? Date and time. And there we have it. So, and then we can test it one more time. So if you go back to your dashboard, run it again, build history, third time running, and then before you come out and go back in, it's appending. So it's run it again. And there we have it. We were running our first Jenkins build. So we have Jenkins securely installed. We've got successful builds going on. Currently working in the local directory, not like leaving Jenkins at the moment, the workspace, sorry. So next time we'll go over integrating with Ansible, Git, further on down the line, continuous integration, and into the deployment, delivery. So there we have it. Okay, thanks for listening. Until next time.